Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Faster Garage. So, got up brutally early this morning at like 6:30. We have an epic cruise today. I'm going to call it the American Graffiti Cruise in Portland, Tennessee. We're going to get together at 3 with a bunch of old cars and cruise, and then hang out at Cruise Inn. And then they have a vintage theater that's going to play American Graffiti. So, that's what we're going to get into. But as always, there's a few things with the car that we need to get fixed, or situated, as you'd like to say. So we're gonna get started on that. I'll get this thing turned around and we'll get our day going. And as always, I have my assistant this morning, the Mr. Peanut. Oh, leave it. This is the only early morning dog I've ever owned. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Sweet dog. This is a lot of energy for what is now only 7 a.m. So let's get started. So first problems first. As you can see, there is some fluid over here that looks like oil. Right down in, let's see, zoom in. Yeah, there. I thought it was oil, and it may very well be oil, but what it brought my attention to is the top of the coil is definitely wet. And usually when these things go, they're actually filled with some fluid. So not to risk it, and a coil's only like 30 bucks. We're gonna replace that bad boy. So we're gonna replace the coil. Pardon the shop is still a mess from when we did all the suspension stuff. I have not had a chance to clean it since vacation. And then the second one, turn the steering wheel the right way so it's not upside down. This happened because when I replaced that rag joint, I didn't pay attention enough, and I also thought it was a solid piece and not adjustable where the collar was for the basically the steering shaft bolts to the column. So that's my bad, but that's what we're going to start with first, is try to get these 5 off, pull off this adapter and just turn it, and hopefully life will be great. So that's our 2 small list of things to do today. And then tomorrow we'll get all this mess cleaned up. Oh God, this dog, it's too early for this. Anyways, I need to run a better ground to the chassis. I've noticed the lights flicker a little bit, which they're grounded in right here. I fixed the ground, but that's how the previous owner did things. But anyways, I don't see really good ground to the chassis anywhere, so probably gonna put one of those in and get that done too if I have time. But yeah, let's get started before it gets super hot and 100 degrees outside. Okay, so this was easy enough. We've got this off. I've got this flipped around. We'll put this here, and then this will go over it, and that'll adapt to the steering wheel like it did before. Now, I'm kind of glad I took this off because none of this stuff is torqued. I shouldn't say torqued. None of this stuff was tight, and honestly, the way it's done and the quality of the bolts isn't great. So like for instance, this bolts the steering wheel to, or the adapters and everything to the column, right? Well, the way they have it is this washer just sets on top of these bolts, and you can see how it's deformed. The washer needs to be small enough to fit in between these bolts, so you've got even that much more thread engagement, like all the way down. So we're gonna take a little trip to the hardware store and get these in like a grade 8, and then also get a smaller washer. So we're gonna go do that just for safety. Now these little Allen things, which come with the Grant kit, is all that hold the steering wheel on. I think that's fine. Just because there's 5 of them and the way that it works. But we may even try to get better one of these. I need to see what grade bolt that is. I can't tell from that small writing. Can you guys tell? Tell me what it is. Chinesium? Yep, I agree. So we're gonna upgrade those as well. This is gonna be pretty simple. We'll get this back on and straight. So basically this is the spline adapter that also clicks your turn signals off when you turn. And then these are just like nice trim ring, spacer ring, and all that. Now the horn's never been hooked up, and honestly I don't see where it would have come through for this. Maybe there was wiring here at some point, I don't know. So I will probably put in an auxiliary horn at some point somewhere on the dash, because that does become an important deal at some point. But yeah, let's go get some bolts and some hardware and get this thing off of our list. And our helper is still playing in the yard, having a great day, so life is good. All right, so we're back from the hardware store. As you can see, we've got a washer that drops in, so our nut is much further down. There's more thread sticking out this way. This is also torqued to 35 foot-pounds, where before this was definitely not torqued. Now, what kind of sucked, I did find some grade 8 bolts. They were too long, and obviously I'm having to space them out. I've ran some low-grade Loctite on these, and then I took my calipers and measured, so I've got much more thread engagement. Now, that being said, this one right here, the threads are damaged. I tried to run a tap down it, but the aluminum spacer converter adapter is it's in bad shape. It's gonna work, but I'm thinking about switching steering wheels, and when we go back through and get the horn to work, that'll be one of the things that we do, is to take care of that and replace it. But this is much better, a lot sturdier. Now, with the little Allens, I've got all the measurements written down for these, what they're supposed to do, but I could not find anything remotely close to this. So this is probably gonna be a Fastenal order, but we'll get these at a later date. But we're about to put the wheel on, and it'll be straight, and I feel much more secure with how this is going to be. So we'll get this buttoned up, and then we will get started in there on the coil, and then hopefully this will be done. It's right around 8 o'clock, and the heat is already picking up, so I want to get this done before I literally melt in the shop. All right, so old coil out, little change of plan. I thought this would be just a cheap generic coil. It's in an XL, so lucky enough the parts store had one, so I'm going to put back what's in there, because I couldn't exactly find the ohm voltage on this one right here, the replacement one. But as you can see how it's got the nice conductor little deal that it plugs into? Ours is rotted away, and I think that's what's causing our issue, and this bad boy is definitely leaking. So that is the problem. So we're going to go ahead and put in our new coil. I cleaned off the bracket a little bit because it's covered in some muck, and we've got to get a move on, because this cruise is about to happen in when you leave the house about 30 minutes. So I got to rush, and it is hot today. It is going to be about 95 with a real feel of 102. So we got to get this going. Well, she's running, which is great. It's got a slight little miss or out of tune now with a different coil. I just set the idle, but I did set it with a bad coil, so I may need to adjust the idle circuit again. Plus that Edelbrock is like extremely finicky for the idle for some reason. It just loves to be way too fat, which is annoying, which we've got a Holly to put on later, but we'll just live with it for now. It did crank up much easier with the better coil, which it should. So very happy about that, but we're about ready for the cruise. It is so hot, guys. I cannot tell you how hot it is. That fan ain't doing enough. But yeah, she's there running. Let it warm up just a little bit more, and then we will get on the road. Well, we are underway to the American Graffiti cruise and movie. Doing about 50. Look how far we've come, guys. It's a hot day, almost 60 PSI of oil pressure, not above 190. From where we started in this car, from where it's at, and good handling, good braking. What a payoff, guys. This is awesome. So excited. Just goes to show a lot of hard work, few choice words, and no common sense, and you too could be sweating to death in a muscle car in the middle of summer. No, I'm joking. This is going to be an awesome day. We're going to have a lot of fun. So let's get there and get some photos and some videos. All right, we made it, guys. We're going to do a quick walk down to the cars and get the lay of the land real quick. What did your car say it was? Does it say how hot? 95? That's what they were saying. So it's about on the money. I think the real feels like 110, 112 maybe. No, I'm joking. It's probably what, 98, 120. Made it, guys. It didn't overheat. Oh, this is a beautiful Nova. I'm okay. I'm drinking water. I ain't saying I'm happy about it, but I'm here. After this, there will be time to get some shakes and stuff. Oh, that's a beautiful Cuda. Looks a little interesting in the front end. Wonder what year that is. Oh, beautiful Chevelle. They're getting everybody ready to go for this cruise in, so we're gonna walk down and walk back.
Zach, what you been up to, man?
All right, guys, so that's just about everybody in the American Graffiti cruise. They're doing the 50s cars first, except for the lead car up there, and just doing them in range. Temple Theater, guys. This is where we're going to end up seeing the American Graffiti later on tonight. This is a vintage theater that they've redone. Never been in it. The outside's awesome for taking pictures of, though, as you can see. There's also a vintage gas station just a little bit further down. But this is in Portland, Tennessee. And this is put on by the Portland Cruise In. They do a really good job. They do drawings, really good with kids. Pretty awesome. This is where we're seeing the American Graffitis. You can see they've got some 55 67 T-Bird, just like in the movie. This is their little downtown that they've done retro. Super cool. This place is packed on most weekends for their cruiser. Alright guys, we made it. No issues. Car got up to about 190, that's as hot as she got. Lost a little bit of oil pressure, she got down to 52. And then while idling, stuck in traffic about 17, 18, but nothing bad. Beautiful Corvette. Alright guys, sorry, had a camera malfunction. All these little lights will be lit up later on tonight. It'll be an epic opportunity to take some pictures. Big block goals. Goals, guys. I'm not sure exactly what this green car is, but this is gorgeous.
I don't know if they can hear me. Maybe they're gonna hang it up there for a while, but we'll be selling some 50/50 here in a minute, y'all.
This is where the theater is, guys. This is where the magic is gonna happen. This is so cool. Looks very presidential. Oh, there's my +2. There's a +1. +1. I'm the 2.